Hello everyone, it's Simon from Buck's Guinea Pig Talks and welcome to part 2 of our Q&As. We asked for questions from you and goodness me, we had lots and lots of questions. We have enough questions for 4 videos. So we've got 10 questions here on this particular video and we have a helper. This is the fantastic Honeyduke. She's the oldest in her family, so let's get her helping us. Now, if you have any questions, please do put them in comments because what we're going to do is we're going to have a 5th Q&A at the end of all this. So any questions, we'll obviously check that the questions aren't repeated. We haven't got them in episodes 3 and 4, but then we will put all together. We'll create number 5, a Q&A. So anything you think of, jot it down. And let's see if we can include you in episode number 5. Okay, so camera lady, let's carry on with the first question from episode 2.
Stargazing Cat Girl asks 3 questions.
Oh, okay.
The first question is, what inspired the Greek philosopher names?
Well, I think we did slightly describe that. It's a little hand there. Look at that. That's handy. We covered bits of that, didn't we? The Greek philosopher. You did, because that's your background in education. So I think possibly maybe you want to explain why you got the first name.
Okay, so I'm a philosophy RE teacher, and so I wanted my daughters to know some Greek philosopher names, and so we started with Socrates, obviously the father of philosophy, his pupil Plato, which is the only reason we know anything about Socrates, because Plato wrote Conversations down, his student Aristotle, very famous philosopher. And then we went to Epicurus, who was interested in happiness or eudaimonia through peace. And then we went to Xenocrates, because the philosophers were also scientists and mathematicians. So Xenocrates was interested in numbers and systems and developed Plato's forms in the way that we understand them today. She is loving that. Then we had Xenocrates. I've said Xenocrates, haven't I? Then we had Democritus.
Who's Democritus?
Democritus was interested and developed the concept of the universe being made up of atoms, and now we think of that as totally normal. But for then, it was such an original idea. And so, who knows?
Can I ask,
who we'll have next?
Is there a Greek philosopher for social media?
No.
Oh.
No, they were future thinking and made a difference to our whole world, but they didn't imagine that.
And you've also got a couple of names probably for the future as well from our Teddy line.
You know one of them, but you don't know the others. So
no, because our Teddy
secrets.
line is pretty much based on the philosophy things, because it's quite unique. When you hear of guinea pigs like Xenocrates and Epicurus, you do think of us. You don't think of anyone else. So there we are. So okay, so that answers on
Stargazing Cat Girl's question 1.
Yes.
Her next question is, have they ever had cilantro, which I think is sort of like coriander. It's a green vegetable. So hers loved cilantro.
The answer is, we don't give ours coriander on a general basis, but I will look into that, and I will look to our supermarket of choice, and we'll see if we can get some. So we haven't got any in the garden. But
we don't at the moment. We've had it before, and they have liked it.
Okay. Oh yes, yes. Actually, I do remember
in the old
some.
house.
You picked some. So we will try it. But thank you very, very much indeed for your question and your point, because we're not always the ones with the answers. This is a community. This is what I want it to be. Bucks Guinea Pigs on all the social media. It's just a big community of like-minded people that love guinea pigs. We are not experts. We're not in charge. We welcome everybody. So we're going to check that one out. What's next?
I love the next question because I think it's particularly relevant now. We're trying to mix them up in the garden. So question 3 is there a dominant pig? Who is Queen Pig? Who is on top?
Well, I think so in the last, we've put our guinea pigs out 3 times this summer, this spring. And what we've tried to do is whilst they're in their own cages at night, because the cages are relative to the grass spaces, they're smaller. So we've been trying to mix some of our cages together on the grass, and the grass cages they then show the dominance, and you can see guinea pigs how they change as they get older. Now, last year, Stardust was actually living with Xenocrates, and she was living with Epicurus as well, and Luna. And obviously, through Epicurus' passing and just things moving and shuffling around a little bit. Oh, you chattering your teeth. We'll come to you in a minute. We'll have a question for you in a minute. We have tried to mix things up. So actually, Stardust, she thinks she's Queen Bee, but with Xenocrates, both of them were chattering their teeth at each other. Now, bearing in mind they are both elderly, maybe they take their teeth out and chatter them. The one who thinks she's the Queen Bee is Myrtle. She's always been a bit upfront, bit feisty, but also this one's mum Spike. She was also she thought she was a queen bee within her family cage, and we think it's probably because Spike had this fantastic hair that came everywhere, so she was more intimidating. So it's interesting that they're generally happy. If you've got like a guinea pig that's just had some babies or pregnant, then they will respect that. So they're actually very, very nice guinea pigs. And the fact that we've got the boy, we've got Figaro. Figaro makes absolutely no difference whatsoever to the other guinea pigs in the other grass runs. So he might purr and rattle his teeth and make some noises, but they don't listen to him, so they're not interested. So they do their own thing. So we do have a hierarchy, but generally, if there's lots to eat, they're not too fast, and we generally want them to mix. That's the thing, we want them to mix. So stick with us on Bucks Guinea Pig Talks, and you can see how we're going to do that over the summer.
I think I say that when we had our first two guinea pigs, Mummy and Hermione, that were sisters,
yes,
they were always very clearly top dog dominant.
They were, and they weren't actually
not in an aggressive way. Just,
no, it was just their
they were just in charge,
and it was their bearing. I think the others just knew it, and I think that's what the guinea pigs, because obviously we can't talk directly to these animals, but they do have some sort of awareness of who's in charge. Now, since we lost Spike, this one's the oldest one in her cage. But she's come out of her shell a little bit, as has Coco, and certainly Bella. You know, so that's what she. I think that's what she just wanted me to do. That's all she wants. That's why she's different. But there we are. So.
But I think the one thing is that whenever they're babies, they're super kind. They're kind to the mums, and they're also very kind when we had Epicurus, who was poorly.
Yes.
They're dominant but only amongst the older, healthy piggies.
I think if they want a bit of a scrum, they'll have a scrum, but otherwise they're just quite relaxed. What is our next question from our fantastic subscribers?
Guinea Pig Cuteness asks, what are your guinea pig genders?
Okay, well, all of our guinea pigs... She had a little nibble. I thought you liked that. All of our guinea pigs, you can see we're recording this as live.
Yes.
We don't do editing. Why don't we edit?
Don't know how to.
No, that's a good answer. So we all of our guinea pigs.
I've just chopped your head off there at that moment we talked about editing.
All of our guinea pigs are females. So apart from sometimes when we have the babies, we have the little males, but the males will go at 6 weeks, and then they'll be taken out from mum at around 3 weeks. So and the boys we have we're borrowed in. So we only have female adults.
What are their favourite treats?
Their favourite treats are appearing on camera on the Bucks Guinea Pig Talks YouTube channel. They love going on the grass. They love grass. So in the springtime, when the grass is really long and you haven't cut it, they love that because you pull it all up and you chat your teeth, don't you? And they get very excited by that. They love, they get vegetables every single day. So they love the vegetables, and at 6 in the morning, they absolutely adore all that. But I think they just love grass. I put some pictures up. By the time this goes up, put pictures up, say 10 days ago. There we are. So if you check back about 10 days ago, I put loads of pictures with some grass I'd pulled up, and they're in their cages and absolutely loved it. So yeah, it's just...
We also grow dandelions in the garden. We don't get rid of dandelions. We keep them growing. They love dandelion leaves.
The difference is that we've got so many guinea pigs. So if you find one dandelion, you've got to cater for 12 guinea pigs.
Yeah, no, we have to have enough.
It's a bit difficult. It's
like strawberry. Want them to think they're favourites.
It's a bit like strawberry leaves that you kindly offer, and then I say, well, there's only 3 of those. That's no good. So generally the strawberry leaves will go to Luna, because she's quite a quiet thing. Anyway, let's carry on before she's chatting away.
The dried peas they like as well.
Yes, they certainly do. Yes.
Sorry, right.
Sorry.
Oh gosh, Question 6. I think we'll be here for ages if you answer
Try
this.
me.
What is your favourite thing about each of the guinea pigs?
Oh, blimey. Well, this one's really great about biting your fingers.
No, she's so fuzzy and beautiful.
The thing about they're all individuals and they've all got characters. And because we've got so many, we are actually unable, or I am unable, to give each of them an hour a day. So the time that I spend with them, I spend a lot of time when I weigh them on a Sunday morning. Because obviously I pick them up and hold them, I check them all over, I give them a once over and just check they're all okay, check the ears and the mouth and the teeth. As I pointed out on video 1, the nails on these ones, you see the claws, they're quite long at the moment. That's because we are going to do a video purely on cutting nails. So if you're seeing that and you're thinking, oh, that is the reason. And we're also going to do the nail cutting on the darker nails as well. So we're going to set that up, probably do that next weekend.
You got off topic, so I'm going to name a guinea pig and you're going to tell me the thing you love most about her.
Go.
Luna.
Luna is she's always half asleep and she's very sweet. And what's nice about, what's one thing about her is that the litter that she had only lived for a few days. She wasn't very well afterwards, but we've kept her. So she's the only guinea pig, forget the 3 at the bottom, the youngsters. She's the only guinea pig that doesn't have her own youngsters. So she's a sister to Xenocrates. She's not a daughter or anything like that. But she's a lovely guinea pig. She's very, and she loves the babies. When she's around the babies, she's like an aunt. And she'll run around with the babies, and she's like last year with the
just one thing.
Storm 6.
One thing.
Oh, so I can't do one.
I know you can't.
But she loved the baby. The Storm 6 last year in Luna, she was like an auntie. She loved wandering around with them and interacting with them. She's got a big heart. She's a little guinea pig with a big soft
Do you know what?
heart.
I'm going to answer the question. The one thing, what's your favourite thing about each of the guinea pigs? Every show we have different guinea pigs on. We have between 1 and 3 guinea pigs on every long video. Yes. And in every single one of them, Simon tells you what he loves about them and talks about them, has little stories about every single one.
Yes, they've all got a story.
Yes. And so, yes, maybe that's got to be a different...
Yes.
And maybe that's a whole thing on its own. So I'm going to move us on because
they're all individual. They've all got a beating heart, and they're lovely, and they deserve our respect and attention. And they're lovely animals.
Yeah. And this morning when you came and brought me a cup of tea, you told me all about them. Simon's always got a little story about the guinea pigs.
And I know they are. They're all popping out. This leads on very nicely because a few weeks ago we did a poll on who's your favourite guinea pigs. And I've just got to add up the scores. Then we're going to do a couple of videos on that. Now, the video won't be done this week.
Oh, she's washing her face. She's so cute.
So we have a poll of videos. So everyone has their own favourite videos, favourite guinea pigs.
Cute.
So it's just nice. And what's interesting is when they're youngsters, they're just a little youngster. But then they develop a personality and a character. And then they become... It's like Bella at the moment. She's really got a big personality. She's friendly. This one as well. She loves her chin rubbed. It's just... They just create something. It's very nice. Anyway... Carry on.
Next set of 3 questions are from Quiggies.
Oh, yes. Now, this is someone who really, really, really loves our channel and watches all our videos, which you should do as well. So go on, let's have some questions.
Question 7. Mercury is the biggest. Who is the smallest?
The smallest is going to be Stripe. So she's the youngest. So she's only, nearly 5 months old now, so she's the daughter of Bella.
She might not be the smallest, but at the moment, because she's still young.
She's about 950 grams, I think. But I did find out from the owner of her sisters that they're about 970, 980. That's because I was informed that yesterday.
Question 8 has 2 parts. What do you feed them? What vegetables? What pellets?
Okay, well, I get all the hay delivered in a box, so I'm not quite sure what it is, but it smells lovely. It's 18 kilos. I get 2 boxes delivered, and they're half the price than if I went to a local pet shop. So that's why I do that. Now, in terms of, I get from Amazon. Okay. Pellets we get, just go down to the pet shop and get the pellets. We don't get the muesli mix, we just get the basic pellets, and they'll eat all that. They love all that, but mainly it's hay. And in terms of vegetables, they eat really well, don't they? They eat far better than we do. They have carrots, they have broccoli, they have greens, they'll have some cucumbers, some tomatoes, some apples. They'll have, what else they have?
I'll tell you what they
everything.
have.
They have everything.
When we started having guinea pigs, they had all the fresh vegetables, and he's smirking now because Simon always makes us a roast as a family on a Sunday, and he used to give the fresh vegetables to the piggies. And what did you do for us?
Frozen.
So the girls and I have managed to change that over the years, but certainly the first couple of years, the piggies got all the fresh vegetables.
They do.
And we got all the frozen.
Well, where we go at the moment, and
it's very soft
the
on
carrots
them.
that get delivered at the moment are the ones that are the misshapen ones, and they're perfectly fine for these ones to eat.
They're perfectly fine for anyone.
Exactly what you had to eat for your Sunday lunch, the roast chicken that I cooked. Then that was really good.
Look how she's slumped down. She's so cute.
But carry on. What's the next question?
Question 9.
Yes.
Oh. Have any of the guinea pigs escaped their enclosure?
Okay, well
Shall I pan up to see you for this one? There we go.
Well, I'll tell you what, we had our Cromwell, who we mentioned a while back. He was the first male we got. We had 6 females, and I drove 180 miles to get Cromwell. He was a young Californian male, and he came back, and we thought we'd just put him next to our 6 females because they had a long old day. Anyway, so we put him into the enclosure, and he runs around a little bit, and then he jumps onto the side of it, and this is an old bookcase that we had on the side, and then we had a mesh cover on top of it. But we didn't have the mesh cover on, but he jumps up onto the side, and he jumps over, and he disappears off into the bushes.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
It was like I've driven 200 miles.
The camera's shaking because I was laughing.
And the problem is that you can't run into the house and say, "Can I have some help?" So you're sitting there texting, saying, "Help, help." And so you came out, and then we trapped him. He was a bit skitty. He was a bit skitty, is the understatement. Yeah. He was very skitty, and but we got him, and we were careful when you grabbed him. You were very careful, and that went well. And then we had another guinea pig that jumped out of his cage. I think last summer we were gifted a cage. It was a triangular cage, and not one we would choose, but because we had some youngsters, it was quite useful to use. And it was one that you could only access it from the side, so it was fiddly.
Oh,
hang on. Honeyduke's never escaped. There we are.
No.
And she's beautiful.
She's not happy. She look at her chat.
Well, we'll talk about Honeyduke in a minute. The Honeyduke show. So there was a young male that he escaped from his triangular cage. So I was trying to pick him up, and he just skitted out, and he went all the way along the back garden, and I had to text you, and then we got him, didn't we?
Yeah.
I didn't. And he
it's
was
quite stressful, isn't it?
And he was leaving us, I think, that weekend. So thank goodness we managed to get him. Otherwise, we'd have had a slight problem providing a pair with only one. But generally, they don't escape. We're very careful. In terms of when they go on the grass runs, it's all very secure. It's just picking them out of the cages. Sometimes they'll almost fall out of the cage if you accidentally.
Well, if they know you've got grass,
they jump on the bars.
They are jumping on the bars. They're trying to push their way out because they want the grass.
Epicurus was dreadful or brilliant like that. She would go to the front and push her way, even though she was quite small, but she was lovely. So yes, so very rarely have we had guinea pigs that have actually sort of escaped. They sort of got a little run, but we'll get them. But it doesn't happen very often. Okay.
No. The final question. Ooh. I'm going for Soboljob Mema.
Okay.
But that could be your writing. I think it
My
starts
writing's
with
terrible.
SRB, so that's quite a... Or Senior Boljob Mema.
It could be. The problem with YouTube names is that they're very different to sort of like
normal names.
ones.
So apologies.
But we want to make sure that we got your name.
Yes.
Okay.
So your final question of video show 2 on the questions is, who's the oldest guinea pig we have at the moment?
The oldest guinea pig we currently have at the moment is Stardust, and she will be 4 years of age in early August. I think it's August the 3rd of 2024. 4 and she'll be 4 years old.
And she was the star of show 1.
She was the star of show 1, and this is the star of show 2. And Stardust, the next oldest one, is Xenocrates, who was born in early September of 2020. And actually, the third one used to be Spike, who was a early December 2020 birth. But after that, it would then go to Myrtle. And actually, those 3 are the only 3 that we still have that where we used to live. So when we moved in June 21, of the guinea pigs we have now, there's just those 3 remaining. So there we go. So that's who the oldest ones are. Okay.
I think that's it. I have no more questions
That's
for this
it.
show.
Okay, well, can I say thank you very, very much indeed for the camera lady. Thank you very much to you for your questions. If we've included your questions, thank you very much for them. A wide range in discussion, and we've kept it really, really chilled out. Thank you very much.
I just put my finger in front of the camera.
Oh, don't worry.
You've got a new phone, so I'm not so good at using it. Apologies.
No, as you can see,
but we have 2 more shows, and if you've got any questions,
we have. If you've got any questions,
one.
write in the comments. And thank you very much indeed. And say goodbye to Honeyduke.
Thank you, Simon.